Good morning to my fellow bank members, bank secretariat, technical personnel who prepares the plans and program reports, and most especially to our YouTube followers and, and our prospective viewers. Today, December 12, 2024, Thursday, it's a private conference for one goods and services and one civil works project. But before we start, I request everyone to please stand for the prayer.
Loving Heavenly Father, we come to you this hour asking for your blessing and help as we are gathered together. We pray for guidance in the matters at hand and ask that you would clearly show us how to conduct our work with a spirit of joy and enthusiasm. Give us the desire to find ways to excel in our work. Help us to work together and encourage each other to excellence. We ask that we would challenge each other to reach higher and farther to be the best we can be. We ask this in the name of the Lord. Amen.
Please be seated. May I request the Secretariat to please post in our video screen our observers for today's credit conference. Wala siya. Wala siya. Mic test. Hello. Secretariat, please show to our video screen the selection of our observers on today's credit conference.
Our first observer from the DPWH Nueva for reconstruction is the National Constructors Association of the Philippines. And our observer from the active DPWH accredited CEOs is the Center for National Budget Registration, and for goods is the PCC also. That's all to share.
Okay, Jocelyn, the head of the Procurement Unit, please post to our video screen the letter of invitation for our observers.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. Our invited official observers for our credit conference today. First is the Resident Auditor of Commission Audit, Sir Antonio Joel B. Orata, State Auditor for Audit Team Leader. A letter of notice dated December 5, 2024 is duly received by the COA on December 5, 2024. And our second observer is Joseph Granola, the President of Center for National Budget Administration. Perla Street, San Rafael, Quezon City. A letter dated December 5, 2024 is sent to Joseph Granola, invitation to sit as observer, 23B330 and 2340-0109. Received on Monday, December 9, 2024 at 10:30 in the morning. And our third observer is Engineer Gladys G. Tiburcio, the alternate observer of National Constructors Association of the Philippines Corporation, Livestream, Nueva Vizcaya. Letter or notice dated December 5, 2024, invitation to sit as observer for contract 24DP0109 is received on Monday, December 9, 2024 at 10:23 in the morning. And our fourth observer is Consul Imonina V. Mambio, the President of Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, of Makini Town Center, Fort Bonifacio, Cavite City. A A letter dated December 5, 2024 is sent, invitation to sit as observer for contract 23 GBJ 13 received on Monday, December 9, 2024 at 10:27 in the morning. And Mr. Chair, that concludes our invitation to the official observers.
Thank you, Engineer Joseph Vigala, the head of the Procurement Committee. Although our invited observers are not present today, I hope they are watching us live in our YouTube live streaming. Again, the head of Secretariat, may you please read the attendance for today's webinar conference for the determination if there is a quorum. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will now proceed with the attendance of our recent board opposition. The attendance of back members. Engineer Danilo A. Bernadette,
Present.
back chairperson. Engineer Ferdinand B. F. Bayabas, back vice chairperson. The regular members. Ma'am Grace B. Salves, Engineer Christopher M. Balastra,
Present.
and Engineer Harley Rex L. Lopez. The back provisional members. Engineer Herbert M. Agudelo,
Present.
Engineer Edison C. Basundo, and Engineer Noel P. Amador Jr. The attendance of Back Secretariat. Yours truly, Jocelyn P. Degala, Engineer Ziggy Tema C. Valdez, Ma'am Gretchen R. Infanta, Sir Paul R. Damagas, Ma'am Vivian Zenaida I. Bula, and Sir Mario Roy M. Caro. And attendance from the representative of the end user, Architect Roel Valentin P. Hanel, and Engineer Shirley Joy A. Lina. And that is all, Mr. Chair, for the attendance of our opposition. Therefore, Mr. Chair, majority is present today for our webinar conference, and we have a constitution.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Joseph Vigala. Since we have a quorum, the back chair now declares that the procurement activity for today's webinar conference is now officially in order. So, as I stated a while ago, we have one goods and services and one civil works project to be taken up for today's webinar conference. For goods and services, it has contract ID number 23GBJ13, and for civil works, contract ID 24BJ0109. Allow me to read the agenda for today's webinar conference. The agenda are the following. Number 1, basic contract data. For goods and services, this will be discussed by Engineer Shirley Ligan, and for the civil works, it will be discussed to us by Architect Ruben Chanel. Agenda number 2, requirements of bidding documents, to be discussed to us by the head of the procurement unit, Engineer Joseph Vigala. Documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposal, this will be presented through audio recorded. Number 4, agenda. Questions, comments from bidders and replies of BAC and other representatives of the procuring entity if our prospective bidders will ask questions or comments or queries regarding the two projects or goods or services to be discussed this morning. Number 5, agenda. Propose amendments if there is any. Number 6, agenda. Criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of the bids, detailed evaluation of bids, cost qualification and award. This will be presented through audio recorded. Number 7, agenda. Other matters and all announcements if there is any. And the last agenda is the summary of proceedings, including bid bulletin and on addenda to be issued if there is any. But before we proceed to the credit conference problem for the one goods and services and one civil works, allow me to read section 22 of the 2016 revised implementing rules and regulation of RA 9184 and the latest GPPD issuances. Section 22, credit conference. Section 22.1, for contract to be bid with ABC of 1 million or more, the bank shall convene at least one credit conference to clarify and or explain any of the requirements, terms, conditions, and specifications stipulated in the bidding documents. Section 22.2, the credit conference shall be held at least 12 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids, but not earlier than 7 calendar days from the previous posting of the invitation to bid or bidding documents in case the consulting services from the determination of the shortlisted consultant. Section 22.3, credit conference shall discuss, clarify, and explain, among other things, the eligibility requirements and the technical and financial components of the contract to be bid, including questions and clarifications raised by the prospective bidders before and during the credit conference. Section 22.4, the minutes of the credit conference shall be recorded and prepared not later than 5 calendar days after the credit conference and shall be made available to prospective bidders not later than 5 calendar days upon written request. Decision of the bank amending any provision of the bidding documents shall be issued in writing through a supplemental and or bid bulletin at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for submission and receipt of bids. Section 22.5, supplemental and or bid bulletins. Request for clarifications on any part of the bidding documents or for an interpretation must be in writing and submitted to the bank, the procuring entity, at least 10 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Section 22.5.2. The purpose of clarifying or modifying any provision of the bidding documents, supplemental and or bid bulletins may be issued upon the procuring entity's initiative at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. That is section 22, credit conference. That is section 22 of the 2016 revised implementing rules and regulation and the latest GPPD issuances. We go now to agenda number 1, which is the basic contract data. Once again, as I said before, a while ago, contract, the one goods and services with contract ID number 23GBJ13 will be discussed by Engineer Shirley Dingan. Shirley?
Hello, good morning everyone. For basic contract data, other goods and services with the contract ID 23GBG13, name of contract, supply and delivery of materials for use in repair and maintenance of various national roads and bridges of Nueva Vizcaya 2nd DEO jurisdiction. Under Work Category 10, Pavement Maintenance. Activity number 111, Premix Patching Bituminous Pavements, placing bituminous premix to correct potholes, edge breaks failures, and other similar defects, and to level short section of surface depressions. Activity number 121, patching concrete pavements, repairing spalls, potholes, and similar defects in concrete pavements using bituminous premix or penetration patching. Activity number 122, crack and joint sealing of concrete pavements, placing asphalt in cracks and joints in concrete pavement, including joints between concrete pavement and bituminous paved shoulders. Location of the contract,
Malasin, Bubax del Norte, Nueva Vizcaya. Approved budget for the contract, 9,997,500 pesos. Scope of works, supply and delivery of materials for use in the repair and maintenance of various national roads and bridges. With a contract duration of 7 calendar days and cost of bidding documents is 10,000 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2023 GEE Extended Regular 2023 Continuing. Date of bidding, December 24, 2024. And for the bill of quantities, asphalt sealant penetration grade, 115/15, loan asphalt, 25 kilogram per box, 1,875 boxes. 2. Old mix asphalt, 20 kilogram per box, 975 boxes, with specification of composition, petroleum asphalt, 5 to 10, styrene betadine rubber, 5 to 10, CaCO3, 2 to 5, aggregates, 85 to 93, quality, stability, 25 degrees Celsius, and 2,500 over, flow volume 1/10 mm, 20 to 40, residual, stability 75% over. That's almost the end.
Thank you, Engineer Chair Hitingan. We go now to the one civil work projects with the contract ID number 24BJ0109 to be discussed by architect Ruel Chenet. Ruel?
For the contract ID 24BJ0109, aim of contract convergence and special support program, basic infrastructure program with multi-purpose buildings, facilities to support social services, construction of senior citizens building, Barangay Poblacion and Economy Vizcaya. Location of the contract of Barangay Poblacion and Economy Vizcaya. Approved budget for the contract for 1,950,000 pesos. Scope of works, construction of 11.23 meters senior citizen building with complete finishing. Contract duration 170 calendar days. Cost of bidding document 5,000 pesos. Source of fund FY 2024 VAT. Date of bidding December 24, 2024. This is the proposed perspective of the senior citizen building, one-story building. The project is situated in the senior citizen population Arikara Vizcaya. Here is the existing building of the senior citizen that will be demolished for the proposed site of the building. This is the site development plan of the proposed 8 by 23 meter one-story building of the senior citizen. The floor plan shows that multi-purpose area measuring 8 by 23 meters for the multi-purpose activities and has also 2 offices with PWCR and male and female CR. Here are the front elevation of the proposed project. Left side elevation and here. That's project.
Thank you, Engineer, Architect Ruel Chenet, for discussing the civil works. We go now to the agenda number 2, which is the requirements of bidding documents. This will be discussed to us by Engineer Joseph Brigada, the head of the procurement. Joseph?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the requirements of the bidding documents in the form of data for compatibility GDP 13, the ITB plus 5.3, the bidder must complete a single contract similar to this project, equivalent to at least 25% of the ABC. For this purpose, contract similar to the project shall be A. The similar contract refers to supply and delivery of materials for use in the repair or maintenance of various national roads and bridges under work category 10, pavement maintenance. And B. Completed with 5 years prior to the deadline for submission of the fees. Article Clause 7.1, subcontracting is not allowed. Clause 12, the price of the goods shall be quoted TBP within the province of Nueva Vizcaya for this project. The bidder shall bid on all items to be. Price quoted shall include taxes. For Article Clause 40.1, the bid security shall be in the form of a bid security declaration or any of the value forms in house. A. The amount not less than 2% of PPC. Bid security is in cash, cashier's manager's check, bank draft or guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit. Or B. The amount of not less than 5% of PPC. If bid security is in surety bond. Article Clause 19.3, the ABC is 9,997,500 pesos. Any bid with a financial component exceeding the ABC shall not be accepted. Article Clause 3.1 and no other licenses and permits are required. Article Clause 21.1, no additional contract documents are required. And for the requirements for contract for DJ0129, Article Clause 5.2, for this purpose, contracts similar to the project referred to the contracts which have the same major categories of work, which shall be major category of work, big walk LC, buildings, construction, without ice, low rise, concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. The LCC must be supported by an owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than contractor or a final team or of at least satisfactory in the contractor's performance evaluation system or CPS. In case of contracts in the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. The qualifier should have similar contracts with at least 50% of the items of work of the project. Article Clause 7.1, subcontracting is not allowed. Article Clause 10.3, Article Clause 10.4, the key personnel must meet the required minimum years of experience set. For key personnel project manager, the foreman, and safety officer, they should have a minimum of general experience 2 years, relevant experience 3 years. And for the provision for the project engineer, please refer to DEO 148 series of 2024. And materials engineer must be at least DPWH accredited materials engineering board. And for Article Clause 10.5, the minimum meter and requirements shall be 1 backhoe with a capacity of 0.80 cubic meter, 2 dump trucks, 12 cubic yard, 8 compactor, 1, 5 HP, 1 concrete layer, 5 amperes, only 1 unit, 1 correction, it should be 5 horsepower, 1 bagger mixer, 4 to 6 cubic feet per minute, 1 bar cutter, 1 bar bender, 2 units of welding machine, 500 amperes, and 1 unit of gravity output for the laboratory equipment. Note, please refer to DO 11, 17 for the minimum materials testing equipment. And that is all to prepare for the requirements of the bidding documents for the 2 contracts.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Joseph. Number 3 agenda is the documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals. Again, this Engineer Joseph. This will be sent to audio recording. Secretariat, please play.
Requirements for technical and financial documents, procurement for goods and services. 1. Technical component envelope. Class A documents. Legal documents. A. Valid field jobs registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages, in accordance with section 8.5.2 of the IRR. Technical documents. B. Statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. And C. Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, or SLCC similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided for in sections 23.4.1.3 and 23.4.2.4 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184 within the relevant period as provided in the bidding documents, and the original copy of bid security. If in the form of a surety bond, submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission, or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration, and E. Conformity with the technical specifications, which may include production/delivery schedule, manpower requirements, and/or after-sales/parts, if applicable, and F. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement, or OSS, and if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney, SPA, of all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder. Financial documents. G. The prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity, or NFCC, or a committed line of credit from a universal or commercial bank in lieu of its NFCC computation. Class B documents. H. If applicable, a duly signed joint venture agreement or JVA in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. 2. Financial component envelope. I. Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, and J. Original of duly signed and accomplished price schedules. Other documentary requirements under RA number 19.84 as applicable. K. Certification from the DTI if the bidder claims preference as a domestic bidder or domestic entity. Requirements for technical and financial documents, procurement for civil works. 1. Technical component envelope. Class A documents. Legal documents. A. Valid field jobs registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages, in accordance with section 8.5.2 of the IRR. Technical documents. B. Statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid, and C. Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, or SLCC similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules, and D. Special PCAP license in case of joint ventures and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid, and E. Original copy of bid security. If in the form of a surety bond, submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration, and F. Project requirements, which shall include the following: A. Organizational chart for the contract to be bid. B. List of contractors' key personnel, example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen to be assigned to the contract to be bid, with their complete qualification and experience data. C. List of contractors' major equipment units, which are owned, leased, and/or under purchase agreements documents supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor/vendor for the duration of the project, as the case may be. And G. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement or OSS, and if applicable, original notarized secretary's certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder. Financial documents. H. The prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity or NFCC. Class B documents. I, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement or JVA in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. 2. Financial component envelope. J. Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form. And other documentary requirements under RA number 9184. K. Original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities. And L. Duly accomplished detailed estimates form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid, and M. Cash flow by quarter.
That's all, Mr. Chair, for the documents we submitted by the clients.
Okay, thank you to the Bank Secretariat. We go now to agenda number 4. It is the question, comments from viewers and replies of bank and other representative of the procuring entity. Secretariat, do you have any questions, comments from our prospective viewers?
Not Mr. Chair.
There is none. Since there is no questions, comments, or queries regarding the goods and services and civil works, the bid documents as published in our pages and DPWH websites will be sustained. So we go now to agenda number 5, which is the proposed amendment, if there is any. Since there are no questions or comments or queries from our prospective bidders, therefore, there is no proposed amendments in the bidding documents published in the projects and the DPWH website. We go now to agenda number 6, which is the criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of the bids, detailed evaluation of bids, cost qualification and award. This will be again presented through audio recording. Secretariat, please.
Detailed bid evaluation for the procurement of goods and infrastructure project. The purpose of bid evaluation is to determine the lowest calculated bid using the following steps. 1. The bank shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using non-discretionary criteria in considering the following. A. Completeness of the bid. Unless the instructions to bidders specifically allow partial bids, bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents included, where applicable, bill of quantities shall be considered non-responsive and, thus, automatically disqualified. In this regard, where a required item is provided, but no price is indicated, the same shall be considered as non-responsive, but specifying a 0 or a dash for the said item would mean that it is being offered for free to the government. And B. Arithmetical corrections. Correct computational errors and omissions to enable proper comparison of all eligible bids. It may also consider bid modifications if expressly allowed in the bidding documents. Any adjustment shall be calculated in monetary terms to determine the calculated prices. 2. The bank shall evaluate all bids on an equal footing to ensure fair and competitive bid comparison. For this purpose, all bidders shall be required to include the cost of all taxes, such as, but not limited to, value-added tax or VAT, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the detailed estimates. Such bids, including said taxes, shall be the basis for bid evaluation and comparison. 3. In case of discrepancies between A. Bid prices in figures and in words, the latter shall prevail. B. Total price of the item and unit price of the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item, the latter shall prevail. C. Stated total price and the actual sum of prices of component items, the latter shall prevail. D. Unit cost in the detailed estimate and unit cost in the bill of quantities, the latter shall prevail. 4. Bids shall then be ranked in the ascending order of their total calculated bid prices, as evaluated and corrected for computational errors and other bid modifications to identify the lowest calculated bid. Total calculated bid prices, as evaluated and corrected for computational errors and other bid modifications, which exceed the ABC shall be disqualified.
Post-qualification. Objective and process of post-qualification. 1. The lowest calculated bid shall undergo post-qualification to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents. 2. Within 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the bank that the bidder has the lowest calculated bid, the bidder shall submit to the bank its latest income and business tax returns and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the bidding documents. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirements on time or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award, provided that in the event that a finding against the veracity of any of the documents submitted is made, it shall cause the forfeiture of the bid security in accordance with Section 69 of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations or IRR of Republic Act Number 9184. 3. The post-qualification shall verify, validate, and ascertain the veracity, authenticity, and validity of all the Class A eligibility documents supporting the field check certificate of registration and membership in accordance with Section 8.5.2 of the 2016 Revised IRR of RA number 9184, and all the other statements made and documents submitted by the bidder with the lowest calculated bid using non-discretionary criteria as stated in the bidding documents. These criteria shall consider, but shall not be limited to, the following. A. Legal requirements. To verify, validate, and ascertain licenses, certificates, permits, and agreements submitted by the bidder, and the fact that it is not included in any blacklist, as provided in Section 25.3 of the 2016 Revised IRR of RA number 9184. For this purpose, the GPPB shall maintain a consolidated file of all blacklisted suppliers, contractors, and consultants. B. Technical requirements. To determine compliance of the infrastructure projects offered with the requirements specified in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, I. Verification and validation of the bidder's stated competence and experience, and the competence and experience of the bidder's key personnel to be assigned to the project for the procurement of infrastructure projects. 2. Verification of availability and commitment, and or inspection and testing for the required capacities and operating conditions of equipment units to be owned/leased/under purchased by the bidder for use in the contract under bidding, as well as checking the performance of the bidder in its ongoing government and private contracts, if any of these ongoing contracts shows a negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project or a negative slippage of at least 10% in each of 2 or more contracts. B. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on ongoing contracts within 7 calendar days and to complete them within 30 calendar days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies. C. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificates of acceptance within 30 calendar days and complete them within 90 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and failures. Or D. Substandard quality of work as per contract plans and specifications or unsatisfactory performance of the contractor's obligations as per contract terms and conditions at the time of inspection. If the BAC verifies any of these deficiencies to be due to the contractor's fault or negligence, the agency shall disqualify the contractor from the award for the procurement of infrastructure projects.
Verification and/or inspection and testing of the goods/product after sales and/or maintenance capabilities in applicable cases, as well as checking the following. A. Delaying the partial delivery of goods amounting to 10% of the contract price in its ongoing government and private contracts. B. If any of these contracts shows the bidder's failure to deliver or perform any or all the goods or services within the period specified in the contract or within any extension thereof granted by the procuring entity pursuant to a request made by the supplier prior to the delay, and such failure amounts to at least 10% of the contract price. C. Unsatisfactory performance of the supplier's obligations as per contract terms and conditions at the time of inspection. If the Bids and Awards Committee verifies any of these deficiencies to be due to the bidder's fault or negligence, the BAC shall disqualify the bidder from the award for the procurement of goods. Ascertainment of the authenticity of the bid security and its correctness as to type, amount, form, and wording, and validity period as required in the bidding documents. C. Financial requirements. To verify, validate, and ascertain the bid price proposal of the bidder and, whenever applicable, the required committed line of credit in the amount specified and over the period stipulated in the bidding documents or the bidder's NFCC to ensure that the bidder can sustain the operating cash flow of the transaction. The determination of the lowest calculated and responsive bid or LCRB is guided by sections 34.4 to 34.8 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184. The Bids and Awards Committee will recommend to the award of contract to the bidder with the LCRB in accordance with section 37 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184, which outlines the procedures for the notice and execution of award.
That is Mr. Chair, for our clear procedure from bid evaluation and bid award.
Thank you, Engineer Joseph Bicala of the Procurement Unit. We go now to agenda number 7, which is other matters and without any announcement. Secretariat.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the announcement or reminders, we have a procurement activity tomorrow, December 30, 2024 at 9 a.m. Scheduled opening is on December 26, 2024 here in the conference room for the contract ID 24DPJ19, contract for supplier of official blended diesel fuel for use of various service area and equipment unit of the district DPWH Nueva Vizcaya 70 of Malasin to Pastor North. With an approved budget for the contract, 2,598,000 pesos. And our second procurement activity scheduled on December 17, 2024, the opening of bids for the contract goods with contract ID 24DBJ13, second contract 24DBJ14, and our third procurement activity on December 20 of 2024, Friday, opening of bids for contract with goods with contract ID 24DBJ 15 until 24DBJ 18, and civil works 16 civil works with contract ID 24BJ0021 until contract 25 BJ0036. And that is all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Johnson Tirana. We go now to the last agenda, which is
Sorry, Mr. Chair. And we have a company on December 24, 2024. On December 24, contract with contract ID, BJ0030. Yes, sir, for what we discussed today. Then once we work with contract ID 24 BJ0109. And that is all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson Tirana, the head of the procurement unit, for the announcement of our succeeding activities. We go now to the last agenda, which is number 8, the summary of proceedings, including bid bulletin and on agenda to be issued. We have already discussed items 1 to 7, but there is no addendum or bid bulletin to be issued since there is no comments, queries, proposed amendments to the discuss goods and services and civil works project. Any announcement from my fellow bank members? There is none. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chair, I move for the adjournment of this procurement activity.
Any second the motion? It's been moved and seconded that the procurement activity for today's project conference is now officially adjourned. Thank you everyone, and thank you to our YouTube live viewers. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat.